Hi everybody, this is Barry Schwartz. This is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable over the past week. Today is Friday, July 15th, and I'm trying to do a little bit different orientation again. No longer going to be doing those live videos, at least for now. We'll see how this goes. I guess as I put the iPad next to my face, you can see it light up. So I'm not sure if this is a good orientation or not. I guess give me feedback and let me know. Again, this is the news we covered over the Search Engine Roundtable over the past week or so, and I wanted to start with some news about Yahoo. Yahoo has announced, and it's not unexpected, that they're closing down Yahoo Site Explorer. Yahoo Site Explorer launched back in September 2005. It made Yahoo extremely popular amongst SEOs and webmasters by giving SEOs not just data about their own websites in terms of the link structures and how well the sites are doing in terms of links, but also competitive link data for free. You didn't have to use Majestic SEO. You didn't have to use SEO Moz tools. This is all search engine backed, index showing everybody's links out on the web. It worked pretty well back in the day, but now Yahoo has decided to close it down completely. Obviously, they're no longer indexing the web as they used to. They are doing some, but not as much as they are, and they're no longer really a full-fledged search engine. Because of that, they said switch over to Bing webmaster tools and use their tools, but I really highly doubt that Bing will be offering a competitive link analysis tool. They currently let you see your own links, but not links of competitors. Moving on to Google. Google Panda is still being discussed. We haven't talked about it as much as we have in the past, but Panda is definitely being discussed. And Hub Pages was cited in a Wall Street Journal article, or actually on the blog, talking specifically about how they recover from Panda in, I guess, early July. I'm sorry, a little stuffed up. They recovered from Panda in early July and basically said the way they did this was by moving some of their content, specific types of content that may have been perceived as low quality, to subdomains. Technically, if you understand how Google works, subdomains typically are considered by Google in many cases as separate domains. So Google has advised that you should move low quality content off your website onto a different website or remove it completely. That being said, Panda has this site, Hub Pages, said they actually recovered. I'm a little bit skeptical because one is the stats that I'm looking at doesn't show any recovery. Two is there really hasn't been a Panda update since mid-June, and they made these changes in late June, so it's hard to say exactly if they actually recovered from Panda or for something else. Anyway, Google gave us a statement at Search Engine Land saying subdomains can be useful to separate out content that is completely different from the rest of the site. For example, on domains such as WordPress.com. However, site owners should not expect that simply adding new subdomains on the site will trigger a boost in the rankings. That's Google's statement. Again, take it for what you want. Also, we have a post today about SEOs discussing several tips that they believed helped them escape the Panda update. Honestly, not sure if they actually work or not. A lot of these tips we covered in the past. But honestly, not many sites that I've seen actually have recovered from the Panda update. Anyway, if you want more information about that, that's on July 15th today at SERoundtable.com. A thing we've been noticing for the past month or so is that people have been complaining, especially webmasters and SEOs, have been complaining that Google is not using their title tag in the search results. So instead of the title tag, Google's cultivating or curating their own title tag for your page. Google has done this in the past. They continue to do this for the descriptions. They also done this in the past for titles that say are blank or say no title or default, things like that, or home. Google would do it for very generic titles that are just standard out of the box titles. But when webmasters and SEOs actually cultivated their own or created their own titles, Google wouldn't do that. Now, in the past month or so, Google has been doing that. A lot of SEOs are upset about it. Some aren't. Google explained more details about why they're doing it. But obviously, Google's doing it because they want the higher click-through rate, so could it hurt you? That's the main question you have to ask yourself, and some people are saying it does hurt me. We posted about that yesterday, if you're looking for more information about that. Earlier this week, Google announced that they have updated their product search specification and feeds. You have to go ahead and comply with those by September 22nd. There are different regulations for different countries, so you definitely want to take a look at the post, which we posted on July 12th. In the U.S., they want you to put in the feed if it's available. I guess the inventory levels. The Google product categories required. Images are required. Apparel requires different sizes, gender, and stuff like that. And data freshness. They want to make sure that they check your feeds every so often, so you have to make sure to keep it fresh and up to date. So if you are doing product search, you definitely want to take a look at that. The New York Times has been on a rampage against Google specifically because not only are they giving them articles about JCPenney or whatever being spammy Google, they also wrote an article this past week, over the weekend, they picking the lock of Google's search. And specifically about how lead generation sites in the locksmith area are going ahead and spamming Google Maps in order to, rank well, get traffic, create those leads, and send it off to real locksmiths. So definitely want to take a look at that if you're in the locksmith bit area. Google's definitely looking bad in that case. Upsetting to me, Google Maps dropped, at least on the web view, the ability to see traffic estimation. Basically, when you're going from point A to point B, Google Maps said it takes, 30 minutes to get there, but with traffic it will take you 45 minutes. Google has removed that. They said the reason they removed that was because it's not as accurate as they like and they want to improve it, and they'll bring it back when it's approved. Honestly, you can still get this information if you went to your iPhone and did a driving directions that way. Personally, I used to love this feature. I felt it was actually pretty accurate. Google had a pretty good predictive traffic system. They actually crowdsourced phones to actually see where they were in real time, and then based on that, they used to actually go ahead and figure out traffic data. But Google has decided to remove it, and it's no longer there on the web view. If you need it, again, go to the iPhone version. I'm not sure if it's on the Android version. I assume so. Remember I told you last week that co.cc, the subdomain, has been removed from Google. It's still removed from Google, but now the GM, the general manager of the co.cc subdomain, is arguing with Google. They're saying, hey, we do have low quality stuff there, but we're removing them as requested. Also, take a look at Blogspot. They're horrible, and you own them. So why are we being picked out? Why don't you just remove the whole entire Blogspot area? And that's a good point. Again, that's not going to really help co.cc get in, but it's pretty funny to read. In terms of YouTube, there's two YouTube things that happened this week. One is they released a new channel design and cosmic design. The video player is also black. So if you're watching this, you might see a different design. Also, for me personally, Google has now released a way for if you upload your video and for some reason it stops midway, your browser crashes, internet dies. If you're using Chrome or the latest version of Firefox, it would actually help. It should automatically resume your upload. There was a Java uploader that did that. It didn't really work too well, but it did that. Google's going to remove the Java uploader because now the main uploader actually supports this in the main new latest browsers. Google reported earnings this week, or last night actually. They said this was revenue it was a record in revenue. They earned $9 billion in a single quarter in revenue. And they said, basically, I'm super excited about the amazing response to us on Google Plus, which launched, and they had actually 10 billion users sign up for Google Plus, and 1 billion items shared per day on Google Plus, which is pretty amazing. But everybody's astounded by the Google revenue earnings, and it's doing pretty well. There's one thing about how publishers have increased, and it seems a little bit out of the norm, so it should be interesting. Finally, Google News is really into the social stuff. They actually released a way for you to earn badges for reading Google News. So if you're on Google News, your web history is activated, and you want your badges to show up, Google News will actually start showing you badges for things you read. So I earned the badge for reading Apple News, and the more you read Apple News, the higher the badge goes, from bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and then ultimate. But you can unlock badges for every single type of topic, and the topics are very specific, from Apple to Harry Potter, to Barack Obama, to any little detail. So it's pretty interesting how the badges work. I think there's like thousands of badges you can earn, but that really is it. Anyway, that is the Search Buzz video recap. Today, again, is Friday, July 15th. Thanks so much for listening, and let me know about the format if it's a little bit better. This is news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. Everyone have a great weekend. Bye.